All right, we got another DAO builder call. We got some things on the agenda. Wanted to go over just like DAO eco updates, the NDC gigs. They put up a bounties board. Wonderverse and Astro DAO update. The update is there isn't much updates. I'm gonna just give that right now. As you guys know, Astro DAO transitioned. Well, it's in the process of transitioning to Wonderverse, who won that bid. I don't think they actually had the meeting to about the integration yet, so that is to come. We had a contracts community call today. I was trying to get some clarity on who's maintaining the Sputnik contracts, whether there's a V4. I also have not gotten that clarity, but we will be conducting, I think, monthly spaces with Pagoda, so we can ask them all the questions there. Yeah, but generally, I mean, this was going on in DAO space. Finna cover that up. You know, Aave DAO. Aragon's up to some business. They're out here, got some internal DAO conflicts, some pretty cool stuff in the Tornado Cash space. Proof of innocence is a way to tell whether you are not linked to a blacklisted address. Railgun DAO just adopted that by Chainway, which is pretty cool. We're talking about that in the wallet builders chat around like Hydra Cash. Yeah, there really hasn't been that much DAO eco updates. And then as I mentioned in the past, like California was about to pass some laws or had some stuff going in their legislative bodies regarding DAO laws. And then Japan a month back, but nothing really in the past week. All right, NDC gigs, NDC gigs. Let me just go over here, Jane, if you want to speak on that, a little bit about the bounty process, what type of gigs you're going to be putting up, and yeah, how to claim and how builders can actually do that. Some questions around this that people had were like, okay, if you just put your name, does it count as claiming? Do you submit the work first? It was kind of unclear. So if you can provide some clarity on that.
That's all really good questions. Thanks. So we just put the NDC gigs up, and we have an existing process where there are two types of gigs. One is a first come, first serve. So for first, that's a different one. So for first to come, first serve, well, maybe just click on the I'm human progress meter. It will say the award base is the first come, first serve. So for this type of reward, the first person who claim it, posting their information, including their GitHub link, design portfolio, if there's a design component to a Telegram handle, claims that if you scroll down, one of the mods will comment and say, okay, so one of the comments said, this gig is sent to you, please complete by a specific deadline. And then, complete your KYC, and note missing the submission timeline this gig will be given to the next person. So this is the first come, first serve gig. So whoever comments first gets the gig, get to work on it, submit by the deadline, and they are done. So that's one type. And there's another type of gig. And that's the one, let's go to the proposal related widgets. So these ones are technically more complex, and it requires a deeper knowledge and understanding. So for this one, this is 1,000 year. It requires someone to really understand how Sputnik smart contract works and knows the near API.js, near CLI, etc. So for something like this, the way to claim is you post your interest, and the mods will work with the technical folks to look through the portfolio, look at someone what they have worked on GitHub, and sort of understand where they have the capability to take on something like this. So for this one, what happens here is there were two folks who claim. There's the Akiraf and James, and they had then discussed amongst themselves and decided to create a team. So this one is also claimed, and the mod said you have been assigned to you, and you can complete the KYC form and then be rewarded separately or together. And you need to complete this gig by May 24th. Good luck. So this is an occasion where two people have decided they want to combine their effort and claim this. So these are the two types. And as you know, every single gig, there is a predefined amount of time. So it's described in the gig description itself. So please complete the gig within the defined time. And as soon as you're selected by a mod, you can complete the KYC process. So the KYC process is kicked off where you're going to receive an email asking you to complete KYC using Facto and then sign a form. And then once you complete the gig and submit it, then you can go through the retroactive bounty process and get the payout. So getting the payout requires you to have KYC completed. So we just help you to complete the KYC right away, which takes usually like 2 weeks or so for that process, and then you can get your payout. So that is the process. And the mods are going to be really active in this year to make sure folks are getting assigned new gigs, and we'll be releasing new gigs. So these are the first batch that we released this week. So really encourage the community to check out the NDC gig, just stay up to date on this because there will be a lot more opportunities in the future.
Awesome. So some questions I have around that are like, so for in the first come first serve, it's whoever puts up the bid, and then a mod selects. For this, you had the case of like, all right, there are multiple people that were working on something relevant. They discussed to be on the same team. Now it was assigned by a mod. I have a couple questions. Like, can another person submit for this, or is this considered a claimed bounty? And how do we and is like this the only way to know if it's claimed, or will it be updated on here? And then my other question is like, what happens if they don't meet the acceptance criterion in the selected amount of time?
So the first question is, has this bounty be claimed? And in this one, it has been claimed. In fact, the mods are adding the hashtag. There's a hashtag claimed, so this bounty is claimed. And then secondly, the way to know if a bounty is claimed is go through the comments and see the mod has commented instead of who has claimed it. So once it is claimed, the people who are going to work on the bounties have that assigned amount of time to work on it. Only if they do not complete within the assigned time, then does the bounty goes to the next person. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that is my question. I see the hashtag right now. So yeah, so if they do submit something in the selected period of time, it doesn't meet the acceptance criterion, is there a revision period to resubmit, or does it go back to like the public? How does that like progress and work be accounted for?
Based on the existing process, it goes to next set of folks or next person who claimed, because the previous person has given the time that they need to create to build these widgets. They didn't do it, so it's only fair to be given to the next set of folks.
And some clarity on like the process of how a widget is done. There's a technical working group, there's a governance working group. Like how are bounties decided, and then like what is the process to officially posting a gig through the NDC so people know, and what's like the frequency of additional gigs popping up?
So yeah, so these gigs are mostly closely tied to the I am human and also the voting mechanism. So if you see the I am human progress bar, I am human referrals, these are tied to NDC's current goal to onboard 1,000 humans to I am humans. So these are tied to this high level objective. And then the second set of bounties are tied to voting. So the proposal related widget, they're creating proposal, voting on proposal, claim a bounty respective proposal, and easy pools, which are also related to voting. And then finally is housekeeping items, which is the recruiting, and then also migrate the GWG doc into a public viewable place at near docs. So these are the things that's the housekeeping items.
Those are most my questions, and yeah, let me I think Kaz just hopped on to for that. So yeah, those are mostly the questions. I think it's clear now. Let me actually just like stop this recording so I have it in a bite-sized chunk.